In the next 60 seconds, you'll have the names of 2 fiery metal albums to stream, but if you stay for a few minutes longer, I'll save you the trouble of deciding what you want to do with them. All right, Terry here again with Cast Metal and another full metal review segment. If you like the music listed here to the left-hand side of me, FMR is for you because I review and break down the newest extreme releases of the week from my charts and get them to you here daily. And also stay to the end because I'll give you a third extreme metal album from my own secret collection too, just to say thanks. So, a recap. Yesterday, episode 35, I reviewed 2 albums, Morgul's Domination of the Beast and also Bipolar Architecture's Metaphysicized. Physicized. Okay, there we go. All right, and check out the last episode, by the way, for the full breakdown. In any case, stream them for yourself to see if they are for you. So, our first band tonight that we are going to check out is Almost Dead's Destruction Is All We Know. And secondly, Enterprise Earth's Death and Anthology. And they're both up for fresh reviews, so let's start the FMR. So before I listen to Destruction Is All We Know by Almost Dead, moving forward here, I opened the page to see that there were 9 strong sounding tracks on Apple Music, totaling 40 minutes. The album cover artwork, as you can see, is black and white with a glowing green. I absolutely love this kind of artwork. This is the one that it sold me on the album. I knew I had to review it when I saw the artwork. To the artist, kudos to you and thank you so much. That's fantastic. So, it also has, as you can see, custom and standard fonts, just to finish that off. So, my first impression between the album's artwork and the song titles, it had me visualizing something pretty heavy, something maybe beastly, and although categorized as metal in Apple Music, knowing that they don't offer all the categories that we use, I predict that the genre to be deathcore or death metal. Okay, so that's beforehand, but I'll have revealed what I thought their actual genre is after I've listened to the album at the end of the show. Then I'll compare it to their actual bio and see if I was on point. So here's the story. Track 1, it's scorching, tight, and rhythmic, just to open things up. Very heavy stuff. Track 2 is fast, fiery, crunchy, and super rangy. Track 3 is just biting, tight, and very raw. Track 4 cranks with churning, thunderous rhythm and harmonies, and it's so loud. Track 5 is total mayhem with tight, speedy everything all the way through. Track 6 is a churning, biting metal number that it has very powerful rhythms that I personally enjoy. Next, track 7 is mesmerizing with an onslaught of power rhythms and bleeding vocals. Track 8 is hypnotic, and it reminds me a little of the Am I Evil cover by Metallica back in the 90s, but it's crushingly stronger. Don't be fooled by it. It just reminded me of it. Doesn't sound exactly like it, but okay. Finally, track 9, it just demolishes. It's fast, brutal, dramatic, and very deep, and it's a great grand finale to this album all the way through. I felt the recording and sound quality here was professional, clean, and clear. I'm very happy about that. Good top, good bass all the way down to the bottom. I feel the production and musicality was strong, yet refined. The energy and intensity here was very big. Rhythm and tempo, it was immense, rangy, and varied. Lyrical theme here was apocalyptic anger. Becoming a mainstream act here is, I don't think it's going to be a possibility. So fear not, metal warriors, they belong to us forever, I think. They remind me a little of Spite or In Flames, but with different vocals and equally strong. Anything else? I'd like to add more, but I'm drawing a blank right now. But ChatGPT says that they sound, or they're in the range of Trivium, Motionless in White, Lamb of God, and Kill Switch Engage. So if that's your bag, Almost Dead is a band for you if you've never heard them. I described the vocals as bleeding fry. This guy's got very strong vocals, while the guitars I can only describe as crisp, sharp, and masterful. Great rhythm and solo work. The bass section was gorgeous. It was big and bright. Finally, the drums and percussion performance was snappy, full, precise. There was no samples or sound bites that I remember or recall hearing. Okay, it's just them and their instruments. General feeling I had during this session was totally electric. It's an excellent album all the way through. It led me to give this album a darker tonality shade in the overall color or colors. I think I'm going to say red and yellow with energy. And I'm thinking that this stuff must be incredible, super incredible live. I'd love to see this band live. Lastly, I rated the temperature as red hot and a seismic reading of a very high 8.2. I'm going to enjoy this one more than once. It's going to be an again and again type adventure for this album. In summary, my predictions from earlier were pretty solid. What did I say? Okay, I go back here a little wee bit. I did say deathcore and death metal. That was my first prediction. And finally, I'm predicting now that it's about the same thing, but I'm going to add metalcore in there. Some really hard-biting metalcore sprinkled in there. The official bio says thrash and groove metal. This says I'm wrong, but I'm going to argue anyway, because I think that I have a point. My favorite tracks here were 4, 7, and 8, and finally, of course, it's going into my library with a bullet, okay? So, next up, before I listen to the next album, Death, an Anthology by Enterprise Earth. I open the page and I see that there's 11 brutal sounding tracks totaling a killer 59 minutes. It's almost unthinkable. This is a lot of work. The album cover artwork, as you can see, is gorgeous. It's bursting with bright colors depicting what looks like a demonic funeral. And of course, the fonts are all custom. My first impression this time had me visualizing something ghastly intense. Although categorized only as metal in Apple Music, I know they don't use what we use. So I predict right now, before I listen to the album, something in the technical death metal or deathcore range. Better keep that in mind. But I'll reveal what I thought their actual genre is after I've listened to the album at the end of the show. I'll compare it with their bio and see if I was on the mark. Track 1 opens softly with a choir-like sound, then explodes hard with dramatic rhythm and harmony. It's not quite 2 minutes long, but it is pure thunder after the choir. Track 2, it's pure mayhem, thunderously low tempo with deranged gent-style guitar work and big range all the way through. Track 3, it moves up and down through and back and forth like a flickering fire, and it has almost crushing, brutal range of chilling rhythms, harmonies. The bass is like a bulldozer, and right now I am in a total state of thrall at this point, so it's gorgeous. Beautiful song. Track 4, it opens somberly with a haunting piano and symphonic setting. And then, of course, into pure mayhem. It's fast and slow, then fast again, and it's got immense force all the way through. Track 5 has a demented, undulating, low gent sound. And this one here, it kind of reminds me of some stuff that Meshuggah does. So it's got some Meshuggah flavors in there, and it's just an absolute wow factor. Track 6, deceptively, because I don't believe what they do anymore, because they seem to open soft and then go into something big. Track 6 is deceptive, and it opens dramatically, building into a funeral type feel. That's the sounds I'm getting. It settles into a strong, rhythmic, rangy metal killer piece with big tech, death sound, and feel for sure. Next, track 7, it's a total drum and percussion clinic. Smart, unthinkably creative, crushingly, explosively strong, and very complete. That's what I describe the album as. This band is very, very complete. Excellent all the way through. Track 8 sounds like a giant army heading into a war with some kind of celestial monster. It's got immense speed, power, rhythm. You really have to hear it and judge it for yourself. Track 9, it's a mind-boggling display of crushing instrumental prowess. I can describe it as, imagine Rush's YYZ from 1980, but with locomotive power. Finally, track 10 is, oh my God, how do they do it? It's a power ballad for the ages, to say the least. Beautiful number. And finally, track 11 is on you, my friends, because I stop everything at 10. Recording and sound quality was absolutely pro, full and deep from top to bottom. Production and musicality was super refined. Energy and intensity was an absolute 10. Rhythm and tempo was diamond level. Lyrical theme here, to me, it's about death or the afterlife, somewhere in that range. Becoming a mainstream act here is absolutely out of the question. So to our metal friends out there, they belong to us forever, I hope. They remind me of Meshuggah. But listen to this one. I'm going to stop here for a sec, and I'm going to open up ChatGPT. They give 10 examples of who this band sounds like. Thy Art is Murder, Whitechapel, Fit for an Autopsy, Shadow of Intent, Lorna Shore, very popular, Aversion's Crown, Carnifex, Chelsea Grin, Oceano, and Slaughter to Prevail. That's a big list. So this band measures in that range if you have never heard Enterprise Earth before. Okay. I described the vocals as this guy is a total beast. The guitars I can only describe as masterful. Sound, rhythm, solos. The guitar players have everything. These artists are amazing. The bass section was like a thunderous slab of granite by which all the other instruments can shine. Finally, the drums and percussion performance was, all I can say is complete all the way through. There were some symphonic elements, piano and synthesizer in here, but other than that, there wasn't any sound bites or anything like that, or movie clips. Nothing in that area. General feeling I had during this review was pretty much the gauntlet of chills, white knuckles, goosebumps, sweats, electricity right through into the blood, and it led me to give this album a very bright blue light tonality shade. The overall color or colors I'm going to give this album are very similar to the artwork. I'm going to say that the whole color scheme, the music sounds like dark earth tones. Lastly, I'm going to rate the temperature as hot as the sun, and a seismic reading of a huge 8.9. That's probably enough to finally sink the West Coast forever. This band is immense. I'm going to share this one with friends who I know love this. And in summary, my predictions were actually quite solid. I did say deathcore, and I did say tech death. And my final reveal is that I stick to my earlier prediction, but I will add a pinch of symphonic and melodic elements here too. The official bio, it says deathcore, but I think that they're selling themselves short. Okay, these guys are very diverse all the way through. My favorite tracks throughout this entire ride was 3, 5, 7, 8, and 10. Again, number 11, I'm going to save it for a little wee bit later. Finally, what do you think? Did I put it in my collection or not? Of course I did. Absolutely amazing stuff. And so, that's it for another episode of FMR. So I'm going to dig into my treasure chest and dig out a third selection for you to take with you today. I just reviewed this album not long ago, Exocrine's newest album, Legend. Phenomenal album. Just for you, just to say thanks for hanging out with me today on a Friday night. And that's it for today, my friends. Please stream these two incredible albums and remember to support your favorite metal artists. Stream them, engage them, love them up on social, buy the merch, see them live if you can, if they're in your town. And join me again soon, which will probably be tomorrow, for another episode of FMR. And finally, hit that subscribe button, please, because metal music matters. Then set up your notifications and get new album recommendations right here first. Okay. So, guys, have a tremendous night. Have a good Friday night. Enjoy your movies, and we will see you again soon. Thank you. Good night.